Today I'm going to share with you 6 of the biggest false flags that I've fallen for, and I see people fall for this time and time again. Things that make you feel like, oh, that was a very good workout, I'm sure it was effective, when in reality, they may not mean anything at all. And even worse, they can distract you from the very things that are important for an effective workout, which I'll explain a little bit later in the video. So false flag number 1, working up a really good sweat. I used to love to sweat for my workouts, and I hear all the time people like, oh, that wasn't a very good workout, I didn't even break a sweat, or oh, I'm sweating so much, I'm sure I'm burning a lot of fat and calories. But while working up a sweat is slightly correlated to energy expenditure, keep in mind it's just much more of a temperature regulation thing. It's so much more indicative of the temperature outside and the humidity. I mean, hell, in southern Florida, you'd wake up a sweat just walking out to your car because it's 98 degrees and 100% humidity, but that doesn't mean that's a good workout. And on the other hand, this footage that I shot, I did like a 60-degree day, it was an overcast day, I worked out for like 3 hours and I barely sweat a single drop. So false positive number 2 is muscle soreness. Again, sort of correlated, but not really. The best way to describe this is that we get sore muscles by subjecting our body to a novel stimulus, but we get bigger and stronger muscles by subjecting it to an effective stimulus. Now, yes, of course you can experience soreness by doing that, but basically you can also experience soreness just taking a break off from a week and then going and hitting the workout as hard as you can, and you're going to get sore from that, or just from doing something just different that your body isn't really used to. False positive number 3 is duration. Time. This is one that I fell for many years myself, thinking that my workout's going to be effective if I spend a certain amount of time doing it. This one can be particularly damaging because sometimes an effective workout is going to require more than whatever that magical amount of time is. So like when I was a bike racer and I was like, oh yeah, I ride my bike for a full hour, and all my teammates were like, just an hour? Dude, you're gonna need a hell of a lot more than that if you wanna be competitive. But on the other hand, a lot of times we can achieve the stimulus that we're after in the workout, and it doesn't take nearly that amount of time. Consider my book Micro Workouts, where the whole idea of that is not about saving time, but just getting clear on exactly what you're trying to accomplish in the workout. And when you understand that, you can usually accomplish it in much less time than you think is necessary. False positive number 4 is general fatigue of the body especially, but it can also be even an internal fatigue. I look at completely wrecking someone is almost like the lazy approach to working out, because it's actually one of the easiest things to do. A lot of people, when they start exercising, will take that approach because they don't necessarily know what they're doing on the technical level, so they're just like, I'm going to do push-ups until I'm peeling myself off the floor. And even coaches will often do this. They're like, I'm just going to run my clients into the ground, make them really sore, really tired, and on the verge of fainting or throwing up, and that's going to give us some sort of a feeling like we actually accomplished something. And false positive number 5, this is another one I used to fall for, is the idea of following the formula. It's this notion that if we have the correct workout programming and we just have the correct number of sets and reps and we have the exercises in the right order, and we're basically programming our workouts as if we're trying to do brain surgery or split atoms, and then we think, okay, if I just follow this specific formula, and that means my workout was totally effective. So what exactly does lend itself to an effective workout? Well, as I discussed in micro workouts, there are 3 fundamental workout objectives, and the success of your workouts depends on how well you can satisfy those objectives, which are all relatively independent of all of these false positives. If you're interested in losing weight and fat loss and stuff, you just gotta burn calories, and you can do that with any physical activity under any circumstances, because anything you do burns fat and calories. The second fundamental objective is the improvement of proficiency. This is of course specific to the activity you're doing, but it's essentially coming down to, are you better at the physical task that you're placing upon your body? And then the third fundamental workout objective is, are you improving time under tension? This is if you want to get stronger, if you want greater muscular endurance, or if you're just trying to build muscle, is, are you in some way making the muscle contract harder, the same amount of tension for a greater period of time, or a combination thereof? And achieving all three of these objectives is somewhat correlated, sort of, kind of, but it's also independent of how much you sweat, how much fatigue you have, what formula that you're following, and any of these other false positives that have been given you, including the final false positive, which may seem like you're making progress, but really aren't. And this, of course, is the false positive of performance. And I know, it's like, well, didn't I just say that the objective of your workout is basically to improve your performance? Yes, absolutely. But remember that there are many variables in your performance. Take, for example, the classic push-up. You've got the amount of resistance due to if you're wearing a weight vest or what kind of push-up variation you're using, how many reps you can do, how much time you can spend doing push-ups, your speed, your tempo, your technique, and all of these other factors that all go into the recipe that is how you do your push-up. But when we get too focused and enamored with one single variable, like how many reps can you do, you have performance improvement in one area, but you're compromising several other areas. So the best bet at having an effective workout is being mindful of which of those three fundamental objectives you have in your workout. And if you are either burning more fat and calories, which is the easiest one, you're getting better at the actual activity, or you're making your muscles work either harder or longer, or a combination of the two, it's a pretty good bet that your workouts are on the right track to getting you the results that you want. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end here, I got some more videos to reward your viewership, and thank you so much for watching. And let me know if you have questions down below in the comment section. Till then, be fit and live free.